Clay, how would you describe the feeling in the clubhouse now that you finally get over that hump?
Yeah, winning's fun. I think obviously it was a tough stretch there. I mean, it's a crazy thing. Things start spinning. There's a lot going on. So just to feel the win again and just see everybody smiling, it's a great feeling.
How would you describe, now that it's over, the way that this group handled what you were going through in the moment?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where when you feel like you're doing the right things, you evaluate things, you look around, and people are, doing what you should be doing, and you kind of really want to reach for something to do, and you're already doing those things, and so it really sometimes that can be a little harder, where you have to double down in the belief in yourself when you have a lot of people saying. And I think just for the guys in here to feel that, and just look around and say, it's going to be us to do this, and we kind of have to lock arms and do it together. It was cool, so I think that this adversity, it could be good for us. And so I think just realizing that and having this early, hopefully it brings us together, and we continue to fight, and it's going to take, every day's a new day, and you're going to have to earn it every day.
Clay, for you personally tonight, we know that sinker's your bread and butter, but you were really leaning heavily on it. It was like 80% of what you threw at one point. What was behind that particular outing tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things going in where, it wasn't really, totally planned, but, it felt good. And I wanted to make them commit to the sinker, and it was working early. So it was one of those things where I was getting results with it and just kind of stayed with it. And so, Ali did a great job of just kind of seeing that and getting a feel for things back there, and, having the confidence to keep putting it down, and, relied a lot on the defense, and they made good plays, and, it was just a good overall, outing for everybody on the field.
With the way things have been going, was it tough to move past seeing Francisco leave the game, seeing him get hurt?
Yeah, I mean, it's always, anytime somebody has to leave the game, it's always tough. I haven't heard anything or seen him, so I'm not sure what what tomorrow looks like or anything. But no matter who it is leaving the game, it's you always.
Mark, given everything that this team has gone through the last number of weeks, when that ball falls and you see Beatty crossing home plate, what's going through your mind in that moment?
I was like, yes, we scored a run. I did my job, and we took the lead.
Do you sense any sort of weight lifted right now from the group?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like we're happy to get this win, and feel like just go play. It's still early. We're in April, so I mean, for sure, I feel like we wanted to get this one out of the way, and let's go play now.
Was the losing streak kind of on your mind today during the game? Is it hard to get it out of your mind? Because we're obviously watching you run to try to score on that play that didn't work out. Do you think that had something to do with you trying to score there?
No, I was just following my instincts, and once I saw the ball that was hit like off the wall, I was like, I'm gonna go score on that. And Leap gave me the stop sign, but I followed my instincts and I went home.
Did you even see the stop sign at the time, or were you just gunning for it after you threw the helmet off?
No, I saw the stop sign, but like I said, I was following my instincts and I just went home.
Just what type of blow is it to possibly be losing Francisco for a little bit here?
It sucks, but I mean, we still don't know what it is. I mean, but hopefully everything's okay. And if not, I mean, we got guys to come in and step up and do their thing.
On the flip side, how much of a lift was it to have Soto back?
Yeah, it's nice to have Juan in the lineup. You're talking about a game changer, and it's good to see him healthy and back on the squad.
Mark, just back to that play, when you say you trusted your instincts there, afterwards, is there any conversation between you and Leaper about how you want to handle those situations, or do you have that kind of carte blanche to go if you feel like that's the correct play in the moment?
I think obviously, depending on the situation, we want to make the right play, but I'm always going to be aggressive. I'm not going to play passive on the baseball field. I'd rather be aggressive. I'd rather make a mistake aggressive than passive.
What's the feeling when you get that last out finally?
It just I don't want to say there was a lot of weight, right? I mean, we already carried a lot of weight. I think we have pushed so hard to just simply try to give everything we can, and sometimes that's just like not good enough. Like, it's a weird way to look at it, but the harder you try, a lot of times the more you fail. And I think it's just relaxing, understanding what you do well, staying within yourself, and at the end of the day, like, just keep hoping. You just keep doing your thing. And today was, look, it was a sign of relief. We have a lot more games to play. Doesn't mean that we just now go on a 50-game winning streak. Like, we still got to go do our business tomorrow and put in the right work and do all the right things. But today was a great step in the right direction. We won a hard-fought ball game, and that it was going to take a game like that to get us going.
Had winning a game ever felt as hard as it has the last 2 weeks, like in your career?
I've been part of some pretty troubling times, especially as a starting pitcher. That was a tough go there for a minute. But it does, and sometimes winning seems so easy. So it goes both ways, but at the end of the day, like, this should just be a reminder that this game humbles you in so many ways, individually and as a team. It's not very often when you have such a talented team where everything just doesn't really click in the right way. It's quite an impossible feat, but we made it possible. But at the end of the day, look, we're going to use this as a learning point and hopefully catalyst to the future, if I use that phrase right.
What kind of energy did Soto bring, just having him back on the lineup?
Yeah, I mean, he's a big part of this team. He's a nice personality. He's funny. He brings such a good vibe to this clubhouse. And lastly, he's just a good baseball player, obviously. But I think it just, look, we're grinding. He wants to jump in the action. He wants to do his thing. And I wanted to remind him yesterday, like, you don't have to come in and be a superhero. Like, if you want to, you can, but don't think you have to. We're going to support you and do the things we need to, but you're pretty good at what you do, and we just look forward to having that on a day-to-day basis again.
At the same time, now it looks like you're going to be without Lindor for a little bit.
Yeah, we're gonna see what tomorrow treats us, but he's obviously going to have a big presence no matter what, and continue to lead. But yeah, let's just start with tonight, and let's all rest our heads a little easier.
What was the reaction like in the dugout when Vientos had that last hit?
Well, look, I'm not in the dugout a whole lot. I try not to be, just because if I've done everything right, it should just be efficiently in and out. But I did notice, just obviously doing the 1+, there's a lot of just focus and a lot of great attitude, a lot of rah-rah, a lot of just like really intense focus into the game and trying to win this game. Fighting for pitches without even being in the box, really hoping for things to drop. And when it did, like, you could just feel like we're trying to win a close ball game. It didn't feel like, hey, like, we have to win. It just felt like, let's just go win this thing. And so it was really refreshing. And then for me, there was no ounce of celebrating because, well, we celebrating something and I screw it up. Like, there's no time for that. So I just made sure that my celebrating came after the words, and I just did my job, and thankfully was able to do that.
Did you have to settle down at all? Were you overthrown when you first came in? It looked like maybe.
Repeat that. I'm
Were
sorry.
you overthrown at all when you first came in?
No one can really replicate jogging in. I jog in a little fast, and you're just trying to settle into the mound, into the situation. It just feels rushed. It feels everything's kind of heightened a little bit. It's about calming the heart rate, getting settled in as quick as possible. Didn't quite do that as well early, but then I'm also not like trying to just miss down the middle of the plate either, right? So I think there's moments where you realize where you're at. You believe in, what you could do to the next hitter. If that one I'm facing at the time is just not settling in, you fall behind the count, 3-1. You're not like, oh, let me get back again with the ball down the middle. Well, that ball's hit pretty far. So I'm trying to be smart out there. I've matured in my career in doing that. And look, like, base is open, next guy up, let's go. And I think it's mano a mano. And fans probably don't love that, or teammates or anybody else watching, but I'm in my own head and I feel pretty confident with what I'm doing.
Did you know you were staying for the ninth?
Not necessarily, but I didn't feel like there was a discussion on it. I felt pretty confident with what I needed to do, and we have a lot of great options, but I was ready to throw 3 innings to try to win the game.